from the 9th of the 2nd month of 1441. 9 of Swords judges others first, till he is trapped by fear. 4 of Cups reversed mocks the lazy, till restoration retreats in a way that's clear. Blasphemy is within the jubilation, if the 10 of Coins neglects what should be dear. 7 of Cups fills with lies. They are wasteful and much experimentation and drugs like beer. We are shown the signs of the heavens, but the confusion of superstitions is why 17 the stars reversed will tear up. Page of Staves reversed will make use of each aspiration as he calls on unification for the ultimate master. And so I am here with Lzwvmmh znz are whichever of these things on the screen here and elsewhere one may call them. And before we, I guess, go back into some of what we were talking about earlier, do you have any particular thoughts about this poem that we've gone over?
Well, nothing really caught my attention in that one, really, like the other one. I just have a question. Is this the continuation where we left off lately, or is this another series we started here?
Well, that's another piece. This series that we're on is it's a 15-part series, so that's number 9.
Okay.
So it's you know, it's this series here.
Awesome.
So basically, you know, they're not all positive things. So we're seeing with these things sort of you know, we're seeing examples, we're seeing why things are misunderstood, like the way people are with astrology. First of all, they don't even know the astronomy that they're making astrology with.
Absolutely.
And that alone tears the whole thing up. But people are, you know, the people making the it's we're in charge. You know, the stars, what we say about a symbol is what we say and experience a symbol as. It's not necessarily we read it from a book and it's, oh, this and this is this. And you know, it's not quite like our this oh, I see this in the sign, so that means whatever child's born right now is going to be the worst. It's going to be the worst year.
Exactly.
Right now. You know. But they program children. People program children with that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But there's a way out. I see. You know, the aspirations and all that. And something's clear. A lot of things are clear. It's like in my one poem series that I'm going to have 2 Wednesdays from now. 2 Wednesdays from now, the midnight show is going to be a poem series that I composed that you saw some of it. But it's a 32-part series. And I'm going to make it into one. And
series. That's long.
Basically, it's a summary response to a summary response to life, or something like that.
Okay.
But
awesome.
I haven't. I have not.
You haven't recorded it. Oh, well, no, you haven't.
No,
okay.
I haven't.
Oh, I was worried there a little bit.
Okay. Where were we last time? We were in the middle of the wheel of fortune, and I was basically saying, again, symbols. If you look at the symbols, you can kind of understand.
Yeah, exactly. The meaning of card. Yeah.
Okay, I've. Comment on the. Okay, yeah. If I finish writing it yesterday, I better make sure I have it on its own file.
Okay.
But yes, salt is separation. You know, sulfur is motivation. Mercury is the message itself. So that's something you got. That, you know, a person's got to.
Yeah.
You know, these are modes. It doesn't mean that you have to have. You have mercury and sulfur. Sulfur is not too bad. Salt's really not too bad. But it doesn't mean you literally have to have those substances and things. Like I'm saying, the person who's putting mercury into resin, which is going to make the thing toxic to touch. Dude's gonna if he makes too much of that stuff, he's gonna be retarded for real.
Okay.
And okay, where was I? Okay, so we were
mercury. Yeah. And
so basically, there's two things you can do to the wheel. Is that one, you can control your position. So being equiposed, the point of the wheel is to be equiposed. Whether fate is good or bad, you're responding with what you have in the best way you can.
Okay.
And some of that's by your action, and some of that's by your consciousness. So your action determines where you are in the wheel, and in a way, and your consciousness. So spirituality, that's the thing that people don't get. It's not, for example, you're claiming a belief. It's like the thing I like, the thing that a person's got, that a person doesn't have to like as long to realize the point that the idea that a believer has to do a certain amount of the principles. They're not just saying running about with a sign like the people on the end. It's like, have you read it? It's like these people with John 3:16 signs that haven't read the Bible. And they don't, and it's like, oh, you meet your wife, but you stand here with a sign for a little bit before you do that. I mean, they're not all like that, but you're going to find it. And death is always a cool card. Because it freaks people out. That's one of the things about 13, when you do it. It's like if you were on the screen, we could maybe say stuff in regards to your reaction to the cards, but other than your vocal reaction. But that's one of the things the card readers do, is they look at you. Rich guy working in his. They don't know the guy's rich. So some guy. A lot of rich people do their own stuff in their garage.
That's like you're quitting reading there. Yeah.
So he has he doesn't present himself on his channel except for having a separate room that he's all painted and stuff like this, that he's any richer than the rest of us, although he does use a particle board and stuff like this. So honestly, if I spend a couple I might actually end up spending more on. He's supposedly bought human remains to be in this temple too, so I don't know. But the death card is something that people don't quite get. But it's interesting, this death card. You see that with that death card? That the death card there, that guy is he's carrying the coffin.
Okay, yeah.
Don't be a cause.
I can't see the card very well. It's being faded out sometimes. Let's see. Yeah, there. No, it's still being faded out pretty much.
Yeah, it shows. It doesn't show.
Maybe you can. Oh, there I can see.
But I guess move it about because the lines of light are kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
But the guy's carrying his coffin. So, but obviously, if there is a hereafter, it's got to be a response to this life. It's not just you've said one thing and you're a believer, so therefore you're saved. It's like, if you're a believer because you've said something and you've actually lived out those principles, I would understand that phrase. So you're this guy's carrying his coffin, which is kind of neat there. The Wheel of Fortune card that we just talked about is like, don't leave things to chance.
Exactly.
And don't just
take control of your own destiny, right?
And so many things are like that. So this is kind of that sort of card. It's a couple on. But
Mhm.
the process of death, well, the process of change is going to carry the results regardless. But this guy's avoiding it. See that? I think the guy's avoiding it because he's like, the guy's looking
Oh, I
back,
can't see that
but
very
death
well.
death is following him.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying
Awesome.
to shield enough light with my hand to.
Yeah, now I can see, I think. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's avoiding him, right?
Yeah, the guy's avoiding death, but honestly,
Yeah.
it's like it's not morbid. It's like, well, it's not morbid because
Yeah.
I'm not collecting oozings from graves and mausoleums like some people might.
Yeah,
But
exactly. For sure.
you know, the graveyard's a comforting place to me, you know.
Yeah, to me too. Yeah, I've always liked
Because
the graveyard myself.
it's a reality. It's like one of the things that I sometimes say before going to bed is about, you know, well, basically, as I said in the poem that I'm about to release for that program, because basically, I don't really want to think of it this way, but a person could say it's sort of my prowess as a Sufi or something like that I can write a series on that.
Okay, yeah.
But the it's death and negativity. People got to understand negativity and death and all that stuff aren't the same thing as evil, and positivity is good and all this stuff.
Interesting.
But you just got to embrace that change can happen. You live your life like you can die. It's like I literally go to sleep like I may not wake up, but I certainly expect. I also consider I go to sleep in a way where I can do. I can try to do my best.
I got a thought here. I actually got a thought relating to the card. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's see if it's correct. But I get a thought that maybe, the reason we run away from our darkness has to do with the ego. We're afraid of losing who we think we are if we like really express our true self, like our darkness. So then we die, our false self dies, and we find our true self, which is the subconscious mind and the dream world or whatever. That's kind of what I'm getting here.
Well, if you look at karma in terms of cause and effect rather than some new age sort of thing, it's sort of we know our spirituality, our mentality, our physicality. We can try to overshadow those things. In Arabic, they have the word kafir to explain the people who cover the truth, but that's really what the term means. It doesn't mean infidel. It means people who cover the truth. But you have the idea of the veil.
Really?
You have the veils, and people put these veils of ignorance on themselves. And but you want to cast off the veils and put on awareness and stuff like this. But well, that's one of the difference with pretty much every system that's not Mithraic. And Christianity is Mithraic. Pretty much every one of those systems, it's you're good and evil. You want to bring about the one, you want to decrease the other, the evil and ignorance, you decrease that, and the good and truth, you increase that. So you have your consciousness. So it's not a separate thing, death and atonement on one side, light and ignorance. It's kind of the thing work together, but you're in charge of moving it one way or the other, and your awareness makes the thing. But you got this shadow of death that kind of so to go back here, we have wait 8 the 2 of coins, sire. Okay, we already had showed the 2 of coins and the hermit, the conflicts, and so the but 2 cards I don't think we've discussed are here, the 6 of swords.
The 6 of swords. All right.
In one deck, it's the science card.
All right. Cool. So what is there on top of that card? I cannot see it very well. Maybe you can explain to us what's on the picture. So.
Well, I'll and it's whatever your impressions are of these cards, or so you got this guy with the ship, and I guess the ship is broken in this one. It's usually not broken, But
Okay.
a bunch of swords into the. A lot of people do stupid stuff like that. Is that they'll stab?
Yeah.
They'll use something to store something in a way that damages it. It's like it's not going to
Uh-huh.
ruin it then, but it's going to cause issues later on. So like people,
Okay.
a person who stabs his swords in place into the deck can. That's a weakness in itself, and you don't want that. And eventually, so I guess he's broken
Oh
things
wow.
up. But
Okay.
so the
Yeah.
science, it's the science. This is the science card. So I figured,
Okay.
I guess I figured out how the right angle to block the shade and have the thing show up. So this
Yeah,
guy,
now it shows up. I see it very well.
he's struggling
Yeah.
with his banner. He's struggling with his thing. But the Six of Swords is,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's the science card. And you got the
Okay.
tower.
Interesting.
So the guy,
Mhm.
rather than jumping, he's deciding what to
Mhm.
do, and stuff's going
Mhm.
on with the
Mm.
tower.
Mhm. All right.
App.
Interesting.
I had it showing.
Yeah. Yeah. It fades. Oh yeah, there it is. All right. So that's the what was the name of that card?
The tower.
Okay.
So it looks more like a house in this one, but
It looks like more like a house, I think. Where's the tower in there? I see no tower.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's a two-story house, and he's up there and he's looking out and he's deciding what to do. A lot of the tower cards, the people are jumping out for their life and all that other stuff. And I guess God himself is reaching his hand through to strike the whole thing down or something. I guess is the thing going on there. But the tower card, okay, there's the ground there. So you realize you tear down and you just like working out, you wear yourself out and you tear yourself down to build yourself up. Or some skill you're acquiring. Sometimes you got to make some sort of change, and that's I guess what's going on with that tower card there. And
the
Empress.
The Empress.
Okay. So that's that series. So I guess we can we've finished with those.
Yeah. All right.
And so Nine of so the cards that we talked about the other time.
Yeah.
Nine of Swords is sort of the path. I'm going to try to. I want to try to set up with my laptop somewhere, so I don't have to deal with this glare problem when we do this.
Okay, awesome.
But so so maybe next.
Yeah, maybe next one,
so oh, hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me because I got to see the small picture of myself of.
Okay. Yeah.
The
oh, what's that card?
So the Nine of Swords. It's always somebody in bed surrounded by swords. It's sort of a nightmare sort of, but the nightmare is sort of like himself. Like all these people, it's like, okay, whatever's going, is society stronger than you? Don't worry about society being stronger than you and all this other stuff. If you can do something, staying up all night watching the news, that's sort of the person nowadays. The person who stays up all watching the news and is like, global warming and oh no, and now it's
Black Lives Matter.
5 people have been killed by the police this year that were black that shouldn't have been killed. So therefore, it's a genocide. But 7,000 killed in the street. That's something to ignore.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not something to ignore. It's a real problem. But these worry warts, rather than yes, you worry about stuff. That's why you prepare. People who in my country who should have food shortage should prepare.
Wow.
I try to save. If I have more herbs than I used one year, I'm going to save some for the next year. And maybe I don't know if the crop's going to. I don't know if some animal is going to come through and eat my bush this year, and I'm not going to get one of the teas I want. So if I get sick and if I get sick to the stomach and stuff for weeks or something because I'm actually sick or something, I won't have the tea to treat that. So I definitely want that sort of thing. But you prepare you prepare for the future and just go to sleep. You don't wait up half the night. I have more than I need, but I don't know how I'm going to keep on going the way I'm going in another year. Like, okay, well, get to that when it does. Losing sleep may keep you from getting the money or whatnot that you want. But so this guy's. But you know what happens in my country? if you're one of
No.
these people on the internet, if that makes clear that you
Yeah.
have $30,000 worth of guns in your house, that
Uh-huh.
doesn't make you safe. That makes you a
No, it
target
doesn't.
to come
Yeah.
rob you, because they know where
Yeah.
your guns are, and even if you have one, they already got your assault rifle, and so your
Oh,
handgun under your bed's not gonna save you from the group that has come in figuring we don't have to order
yeah, exactly.
guns illegally, we can just take them for this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's another sword in the bed. Yeah.
So you're surrounded by your beds, and then next
Mhm.
thing you know, you end up killing your family member because you mistook him
Yeah.
in the dark for
Yeah.
what's I'm not I don't know if you're familiar with Weird Al Yankovic, but he had a song uh
Oh, no, I'm not familiar. No.
Trigger Happy. How's that thing go? I mistook him
Okay.
in the dark for a drug craze Nazi again, drug craze Nazi again. That's not another
Yeah.
uh
Oh,
it's not lousy flesh one down. I don't remember. It's an old
okay.
thing. But
Yeah. Mhm.
basically, he's the guy who was like really known for making all these parodies of songs and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
And I
Mhm.
mean, not everybody that has that is like that, but it's
Yeah. Uh-huh.
it's like in Texas. Texas, so many people get raped with a
Yeah,
gun.
it sounded very much like Texas.
So many people in Texas have been raped with a gun on their
Mhm.
person, or with their
Really?
gun, or with their gun under their chair or something like this, and they still get raped or
Oh
killed
shit.
or something like this. And it's like,
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
because the people who you trust are the ones most likely to get you. So,
Yeah.
and if
Yeah.
everybody knows your arm, that actually gives them an advantage, that if they figure out,
Mhm.
oh, this is where his guns are and stuff
Yeah.
like this.
It's stupid. It's stupid self-preservation. And I think the Jews or whoever controls the system, they take advantage of this mindset that the sword in the bed mindset, kind of like, okay, you think you're prepared, we tell you how to prepare yourself,
Yeah,
and we create
Walmart the wall
yeah.
the
Mhm.
George we
Yeah.
don't need to list all the things, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
these there's a safe way to do it. There's a way to be
Mhm.
prepared, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, of course.
back in the day, it was actually a
Yeah.
lot more. You didn't have to be a Mormon to have a year's supply of food, because it was like people had
Yeah.
an idea that if you have like something left from the next year, you don't know what's
Yeah.
going to make it, so you want
Mhm.
to do it. You want to have some aside. It's like
Mm.
I can in the property I live at, my
Mhm.
goal in the future. I'm being
Mhm.
hindered from it at the current time, but my goal in the
Really?
future is
Yeah.
to have enough
Wow.
fruit produced from the trees here, and to have enough fruit
What?
bushes out there
You
to
have
have
fruits
enough
there?
uh,
That's cool.
minimal
What kind of fruits?
minimal. I had a pomegranate tree, and they
What?
cut down my pomegranate tree the year it
They
started to
did?
produce. It was starting to
What?
produce
What?
little pomegranates, and it's like, no, let me have my
They
pomegranate
removed
tree.
it?
So yeah, I had a pomegranate tree, and they cut the thing down because they're like, and they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't garden that
What?
far out into the garden. But it's
What?
basically because
Yeah.
and anyways, that's off the discussion. But anyway, my
Yeah. Okay.
goal is to
Yeah.
prepare, and when I
Yeah.
prepare,
Okay.
I will either
Yeah.
either I'll have a family of my own and share with them, or
Yeah.
I will set some aside for a future year. I will
Uh,
either for alliance or for charity. Both seem a
wow.
possibility, that extras from my fruit and stuff, I will find people
Wow.
to have them.
That's awesome.
But if you dry them and freeze them and stuff and can them and stuff, you can keep them for the year that you don't have production.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
where we talk the
that's what
real.
they used to do. People had their crops, they'd save some of them, and either
Yeah.
that's how they made it through the winter, or that's how
Mhm.
they made it through the year that things didn't
Oh
produce.
yes. Wow. That's how they did it back before there was any TV to tell you
So
how to do it.
so that's how you prepare.
Yeah.
You have a good hunting rifle to kill those pesky deer that run through
Mhm.
when society stops enforcing all the hunting laws. Then
Mhm.
you're like, I can
Mm.
kill a dozen deer because they go through my
Yeah.
property. Um,
It's like, one thing I've been thinking about with this is that, I think this card that you spoke about, I think that people back in the days, they had much more control over their own destiny, because now there are too many laws, too many rules. Like
yeah, you can't
just
even.
go down.
It's like if I want to build
Yeah.
a little, if I want to build a little one-room building, I can.
Yeah.
But if I want
exactly.
if I want to get a bunch of pipes and
Yeah.
hook it up to the to the water and the
Yeah.
electricity,
Yeah.
not only are they going to charge me thousands of dollars to do it with the city,
Exactly. Oh my God.
it's like literally you can build a house for like $4,000, except the city tries to charge you an extra 10 just to
Exactly.
up the thing, or you
They
have
want
to have a
the
guy
pendant.
that's licensed. You don't it's like, but if
Yeah.
you do things, it's like, but you can have a
Yeah, exactly.
so I can have a shed for a meeting place, but I can't have power line.
Yeah.
I can have I can
What?
have a panel or something, but I can't have it hooked up to the electric.
Yeah, they want the pendant.
Or I'm going to have the thing registered, and maybe have
Yeah.
somebody come out and spend an extra 5,000 to build it, rather than spend 1,000 here, 1,000 there,
Yeah.
and actually have a room that's good condition
Mhm.
that people can visit, and sort of
Yeah.
have it be my external temple room, and don't
Yeah.
have to worry
They
about
want to,
noise from the TV and all that.
it's about dependence. Like the place I'm living right now, first they make you dependent on the system so that they can hire so-called heroes that are going to help you, and then you need to be grateful and thankful for those heroes. But you wouldn't, in real society, you wouldn't even need those heroes to come and help you, because you could provide for yourself.
Well, and
right.
that's one of the things that I'm saying is that
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I for example if I for example inherit and get
Yeah.
I'm not set to inherit and have total
Mhm.
control of the place, so therefore I can't qualify for anything that will help me pay off repairs or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
I'm stuck, but I can do some instead of paying rent, some of the money would go towards repairs. But I would
Yeah.
be but back in the day, you could build
Yeah.
your own house, but nowadays it costs an extra
Exactly.
money. It costs an extra
Oh
year.
my gosh.
It takes a year or two's extra salary to pay for somebody for a professional crew to do the
Yeah.
building. It's like I
Yeah.
was the owner of the current owner of the property was
Mhm.
told that it would cost $80,000 to repair and
Mhm.
remodel it like he wanted, but
Mhm.
if he did it with his own materials, there's no reason why it
Yeah.
couldn't be done for 20. But
Wow.
they set up the system.
Yeah, they set it up to be overly expensive, everything. So you become dependent on the money system run by
And
Soros.
you're dependent on paying back these loans, which you end up paying
Exactly.
2 or 3
Oh
times the
my God.
thing. And
Not only is the
everything
money,
goes up, and everything goes up in price because they figure, oh, people aren't paying for it now.
Yeah.
I have an
Not
uncle
only,
that I have an uncle that bought a house because
Mhm.
he spent decades. He spent
Yeah.
decades working for a company for a company, and
Yeah.
he basically just say whatever the rent was far less,
Mhm.
10 years ago in my country than it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. Except that too. Yeah. Oh
But
my God. Yeah.
he say instead of spending
Mhm.
the extra 100 or something at the bar, like a lot of people,
Yeah.
he said,
Yeah.
I'm putting
Exactly.
it in savings, and I'm going to buy a house. And you know what happens when
Whew.
you buy a house with
Yeah.
cash? They're cheaper.
No.
You can wait around and wait for an auction or something like this, and you can pay for the thing
Yeah.
straight up.
Wow.
And
That's
it can be
true.
as little as a quarter of the price.
Yeah. They don't have that anymore. Those options are gone now.
Well, enough people
They
are
want.
losing their houses. Actually, they do, but it's for the people
Yeah.
who have
Wow.
40,000,
Yeah.
100,000, $1 million in the bank that are taking advantage of this.
Exactly. Oh my fucking gosh. There you said it. I mean, it's not only is the money that is in circulation doesn't exist, like it's just paper, but not even is not only that, but even the things that we need that are necessary are overly expensive too. And so like you get it for cheaper back in days now, and it's getting more expensive by the year. So I mean, and it has no purpose, no function in the way it's just dependence in everything. They always want to make it dependent on the system. Like they don't care about functionality of the things that they produce.
Well,
Yeah.
The card kind of flashes back and forth, but here we have the 4 of Cups
Mhm.
here, which we were talking about, And the Four of
Mhm.
Cups is it's a luxury card. So
Okay,
here's
yeah.
the way that's clear that's talked
Oh.
about. It's that,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's dripping down there,
Mhm.
and he doesn't need
Mm.
all this other stuff off to the side. It's just his.
Yeah.
It's just projections of what people want and people. But really,
Yeah.
what's at the base here? You got
Mhm.
you got your water, you got your fire and food and whatnot. You've got what you need, and you're kind of dwelling in
Yeah.
the comfort of that, or you're just looking at these projections of what you think you need.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Um,
That's also something to take into consideration when talking about the economy, right?
the economy in my country, the fact that
Mhm.
Bitcoin and all this other stuff, the
Yeah.
money's not backed by gold and silver and stuff like it used to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Like in
the
old days,
the stock market is
yeah.
oh, and so the one cup's pouring out, and I guess he's
Mhm.
got his umbrella and some
Yeah.
stuff to prepare, but he's
Oh,
he's
interesting.
sitting sort of comfortably before his fire. The
Yeah.
the fact stocks are based on announcements. They're less
Yeah. Exactly.
if you were buying a percentage of a company, that's how it
Mhm.
used to be. You'd buy a percentage of a company, but they invented this stock
It's not
market.
that anymore. No, it's
They
just a
invented
number on the computer screen.
that,
I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't. Back in the days, okay, 100 money meant 100 gold. 1,000 money meant 1,000 gold. They had a real value. Now it's just okay. It's 100 because I say so.
well,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be what things are worth generally, but the stock
Yeah.
market's worse because they make an announcement, and whether the company goes up and down
Really?
and its wealth,
Wow.
it affects the
Yeah.
stock.
Exactly.
The stock
Mhm.
should be, it used to be you had a percentage of a
Yeah.
company, you had a percentage of a company. It wasn't,
Yeah. Exactly.
it wasn't some faith-based thing that, oh, they made an
No,
announcement.
faith-based. Yeah, that's the word.
We're
Yeah,
not going to even
faith-based.
see
Yeah.
if this is profitable. It's
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're worth more money. No, you're
Yeah.
not. It's not till you
Yeah.
get, it's
Oh
not
my
till that
God.
company or that person
I
gets.
mean, how can we tell the value of anything anymore? I mean, it's just and we see homelessness and people are poor and all of this, but I mean,
Somebody the other day was actually somebody who's like
yeah,
has a good 3 times as much as they need, was comparing
yeah,
themselves to people who who go around collecting boxes and cans just to survive.
wow. Mhm.
Somebody who
Yeah,
if
yeah,
people have housing security and get
yeah.
more money than they need to buy their food and clothes,
Whew.
and
Yeah.
they have enough money to drive around and run their own errands, and they're talking
Hmm.
about, well, I'm just like no, you're not. You're not like
Mm.
those people that
Yeah,
that that can't afford
exactly.
rent, or they're
Yeah.
just going wherever that they happen just arrive. And on top of that, they have to do stuff like, they have to scrounge around in the garbage for cardboard
Hmm.
and metal to recycle and get some money
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Those are people in a different position.
Mm.
And so so I've encountered people saying that sort of thing.
Yeah,
The 10 of
yeah.
this card,
Hmm.
I'm fumbling with my language here. I probably should get to sleep.
Yeah.
The but the 10 of coins.
Hmm.
Well,
The 10 of
obviously it's bringing up the whole. It's hinting at that thing of the sort of thing that happened in the Bible with Moses. As Moses went off, and some caravan leader says, "Here's some.
Mhm.
Let me do something with your stuff." And he figured out how to make the golden calf, have the thing.
Yeah,
So Moses was gone, and here they were making a statue and parading around it, and says,
yeah, yeah,
"Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
the Egyptians marched out and did processions and whatnot, so we're doing the same thing." And it's like, oh, okay. But they have an overabundance. But what are they doing
Yeah.
with their overabundance?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
What is it? Yeah, that's the card of luxury, right?
the luxury well, this is sort of the wealth card. You have more than but
Yeah.
the Four of Cups
Mhm.
is sort of the guy who's sort of realizing this is the Ten of Cups. Oh,
I mean, gold that represents luxury to me. That
yeah,
represents
that's there, but look at
yeah,
it's just, it's there. There's just too much, and it's like nothing's really being realized. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
It's just wealth for the sake of wealth. I think this card is
just for the sake of wealth. Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Because
that's what I was trying to say.
Because they're standing around, dancing around with this thing, and they
what's the point?
They got their statue. And
yeah, and another thing with the idol, the idol can be it can be your Adidas shoes, your Nike shoes. I mean, people create value based on idolism, based on what trademark you have.
Oh yeah, my father gets the paper, and one of the ads in the paper was, really $200 for an extra $200 to have some brand name label put on.
Yeah, exactly.
Put on the same sweatshirt that you get at Walmart for 10-15 bucks.
Yeah.
So the same outfit at Walmart for 10-15 bucks apart. Your
yeah.
Oh, but you have to have Ralph Lauren or something on it.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking about in the beginning of this conversation when I was in the chat. You know, that we should talk a little bit about charity, and I was looking at the YouTube channel. His name is Bill Pakapi or something. It's like a black guy. He's going around helping homeless people on the streets, and I watched a couple of his videos, and there was one in particular that caught my attention. He was helping with somebody, and he didn't want food for, he was pretending this false humility, like, okay, no, don't help me with money, like just God, Jesus, don't help me with any money, he said. And he had perfect shoes. The motherfucker had perfect fucking shoes. And that black guy, he said, let me give you my shoes. I give you my shoes. And he was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. He didn't want money for food, but he wanted to change his fully functional shoes for some Nike shoes. What the fuck? I mean,
yeah, all the swearing. YouTube's going to make my video 18 or older now.
Okay.
We want the teenagers to see this too.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, I've encountered it. You got it's like you had people that didn't eat right, and they had a gold chain. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Even when gold was like $40-$50 an ounce, that's still no. Don't have a gold chain. Don't have Nikes. You know, buy yourself a vacuum. Clean your house first.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know, you got Nike Airs and all this. It's like, wait, your shoe costs an extra $50. Isn't that like the price of a vacuum? And your home looks like it needs vacuumed.
Yeah. I mean, that's why especially the Romanian people. Like, I go to this church, in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In the mornings, I go to this church, to get some free food, and sometimes they drive. The Bible says about charity. One thing I've noticed he said, if you help somebody, let nobody know that you help people. Like, if you help a homeless, do it in secrecy. Pray in secrecy. Help people in secrecy. And here we have these people, these niggers from Somalia or whatever, doing their YouTube channel for fame. Like, oh, I helped a homeless person today. 1,000 videos. Look at me. I'm such a good Samaritan. The Bible doesn't say. First of all, the Bible says nobody's good, nobody's evil. Well, we're all filthy rags.
People. Again, qualifying this statement that we're not talking about, we're talking about a certain character trait. We're not talking about just because they were born or something. But there is encouraging people, but that doesn't seem like so much what it does. It's like, it's like people before I had a YouTube channel, and since, I guess, people's like, who have you helped and all this stuff? It's like, I know my videos affect people. Thank you very much. It's like, I may not have thousands of people, but there's at least somebody that other than myself that watches this, and honestly, that makes the videos, each video worth it. But if people contact me privately that my content caused a paradigm shift, or it helped them not to commit suicide, or help them to get off, it helped them to find meditation instead of and able to quit drugs or something. That's I don't have to listen. I don't
That's
have to
not
list all that
charity.
off to people. But it's better. It's better
Yeah.
to affect a few people than have some
Yeah.
some big old channel that people just watch for
Yeah.
entertainment. And you
My
don't
God.
know if I met a guy. I
Mhm.
met a Muslim who said
Mhm.
for about 40 years
Yeah.
he was right up there in the
Mhm.
congregation. He like almost every prayer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
he'd be attending congregational prayers until he got sick.
Mhm.
He got sick
Well,
and
yeah. Uh-huh.
he was gone for a while.
Mhm.
And people, it turned out he
Mhm.
realized
Yeah.
I've been doing this so people can see, people will come and see, oh, he's in the front
Mhm.
row, or he's at least there.
Oh yes. I mean, Jesus said to the scribes and the Pharisees, and in the Bible that, okay, look at them. They go, they greet people in the marketplace, and they have this, you know, they want to show how charitable they are, and they pray in public, and that's what these Christians are doing. These Somali people are doing like 1,000 videos showing off how they're helping people, and they're helping
Well,
the wrong kind of people.
it's something to be regardless. I think if you look at the prophet, what they say the prophetic model is, I mean, not what they say, what their scriptures say, what these scriptures
Yeah.
say, the various prophetic. The prophetic example is somebody who's doing what they do regardless. If people don't accept their message, if they don't even give them whatever, they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not standing, for
Yeah.
example, like you find people who are who like like I mentioned with that Singar service. It's like, but
Yeah.
most of these people, if they weren't doing
Mhm.
some sort of public gathering, they would
Yeah.
spend 5 minutes and pray by themselves, or 2 minutes or
Mhm.
whatever, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Maybe even recite the Shema as the sun sets on Friday, and that would be it.
Mhm.
That would
Yeah.
be it. They wouldn't
Uh-huh.
they wouldn't do any more. They wouldn't stand around for an hour and a half singing and
Yeah, exactly.
all this other stuff and
You know,
but
another thing that, yeah.
but these prayer services, like
Yeah.
for example, I was reading
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
in the most mundane way, if you don't believe any spiritual thing, people could say
Mhm.
that what Muhammad
Mhm.
did
Mhm.
with the weekly service was sort of to
Mhm.
say, again, to
Mhm.
stand against Judaizing, because
Mhm.
the Jews would turn Friday before
Yeah.
their Sabbath was their big buy day. They wanted to buy
Mhm.
all their stuff for Saturday because they weren't going to buy stuff
Really?
on Saturday, and
Yeah.
so they do a lot of extra business to make more money
Mhm.
too. So that on both hands, they're
Mhm.
so
That's interesting.
they
Yeah.
want to make enough money just for the thing.
Mhm.
They'd have all their fires and everything else going
Yeah.
just so they could take that day off, and they have more
Wow.
an Orthodox or
Mhm.
an Orthodox Jewish community will have more fires on the Sabbath
Mhm.
than the rest of the week combined, because
Wow.
they set on all their ovens and everything else they turn on.
Wow. Really?
Um,
That's ironic. That's oh shit.
or they have or they have a big old fire
Yeah.
going to try to keep warm the when on the day that they're observing the
Mhm.
Sabbath, because they're not going to have the
Mhm.
fire. They don't have the fire going.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Of course, Judaism was invented in a region that didn't have snow, so
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, another thing I was thinking about, just all these good Samaritan videos, the helping people. Like Jesus said to that woman, um, he said this woman was helping out with the last little coin she had, and he's like, "Oh, look at this woman. She just gave of the little she had." The concept that you should just give of the little you have, and you shouldn't be rich. And but here we have these people on YouTube. They're like giving out 10,000 grand, 20,000 grand to some homeless dude. That doesn't make sense. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what?
it's like what that they wouldn't secretly buy they
Mhm.
wouldn't buy a well that wouldn't have their name on it in Africa, and
Yeah.
but they'll hand out money on camera,
Hmm.
and it was cheaper to do the well, and that would have helped more people.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so
yeah.
it's like these people. It's like
Mm.
a Facebook message. No, I am not falling for that garbage. If you need money or anything like this, you wouldn't be axing people through Facebook instant message,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, gosh.
or some other social media sort of
Yeah.
thing. Now, if you ran
Yeah.
a charity and then there's a website or something like that with that thing that's linked to your channel, that's one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The 7 of Cups here.
7 of Cups, yep.
So the 7 of Cups, the Crowley one's kind of interesting. It's kind of all overflowing and all that stuff. But the 7 of Cups, so they've it's sort of like a luxury card in a way because he's got so much, but it's indulging so much in the guy's making cups. What is that? What he's doing? Oh no! Is he running a still? Is that a still there?
I can't see very well. Let's see.
Okay, because there's some guys over a fire. They got a bunch of flasks and oh yeah, I think they're running a still. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're running a still. So they're eagerly setting themselves for indulgence right in the middle of that thing. So
okay.
It's like it's one thing you have 1 or 2 or whatnot, but there's sort of limit of indulging in even what's good. I mean, even what's worked for oneself.
Yeah.
But yeah, the barrels right in the middle of there.
Yeah, I saw a cat. What does that represent?
The cat?
Yeah.
I think you mean that these guys have these full hats, have these court gesture hats on.
Okay. Oh, is that a dog or a cat?
No, but there's a person that's, I guess, drunk, fallen over a barrel.
Okay.
And here they're operating their still.
Oh, now I see. Oh, that wasn't
trying to move it. It's Zoom. The Zoom has a setting where it zooms in and out without your permission. So.
Oh, really? It does. Oh, yeah, that's irritating.
So you got to be careful of what you have in the background because it's going to narrow down either on what you're talking about. It will zoom in on the exact thing that you mentioned. It's like it will pick something on the side of the screen that you mentioned, but it's in a corner, so it's not like it's zooming like in and out, just in and out. It's like picking something on the screen, and you can even so I think there's like so I think the servers decide, but yeah, you got to be careful what's in the background. That's why this is when I had this when there was enough the phones fill themselves up just for being used, whatever.
Exactly.
But I've done videos next to my flags that I have hanging up, and then I could sit in front of it with my face showing or whatnot. But my channel's not about me, not about me in that sense anyway. So it's
okay. Yeah. Exactly.
So the other cards, we got this star. The
star.
So obviously there's gotta be a star. Come on.
Yeah, there it is. All right. No, was that a star?
There's stars in the sky of this. I don't know.
Yeah, there I saw it. All
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
12 stars. There's 12 stars in the sky.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy who painted it probably picked 12. Because 12 seems an odd number to be a random thing.
12 to me sounds very boring number.
12 like the zodiac.
Yeah, it sounds like boring, like 12 disciples or yeah. So what do they represent?
It's an overuse thing. But the birds, I guess you can be the spiritual thing. You got 4 birds. So fire, air, earth, and water. The different sides of the spiritual or intellectual flight of the whole thing.
Interesting.
But you got to be grounded. So this guy is walking through the thing's not staying on the screen.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, but so the guys they're walking through the earth, so it's got to be grounded. When you're taking a lesson from celestial things, you definitely can't be one of these people that's like, no, when you meditate, you're still there. That's one of the things, like In the Quran, there's a chapter, the star, and in the star, it's mentioning that you're emotionally and mentally grounded. It's not just he's going somewhere else and having a spiritual experience and he's messed up in the head or emotionally or something. Because that's what people think is that, oh, I have to separate myself from my body. It's like, no, your body's still there. And
wow, yeah.
But yeah, the guy's instructing him,
and the four birds, they can represent the four elements that the body might be built of, maybe, or the four dimensions: emotion, body, spirit. I mean, spirit is ether, body might be maybe the spirit might be air, or you get the concept. Like,
yeah, it's all about oneself. But see, us humans, we learn from the material nature we inhabit and which is around us. We learn intellectually, and then there's this spiritual transcendent thing we're learning from. And sometimes someone needs to be with us to teach us, and that's what's I guess going on there. And
that's the air, yeah.
And the Page of Staves it's one of those motivated cards here. The guy has holding his staff out ready to charge, and he's of course got those ears because this is the Ship of Fools tarot card, and he's got the you got a big old rabbit hopping about. You have a dog that doesn't know which hare to or rabbit to go chase. And this guy's leading his thing and the thing, so he's the hunter, but he doesn't really all the pages, all the princesses, they're a step in the structure. They have something to offer that's different than the other three court cards, but there's always something for this guy to do. So what's your thought with that before we
yeah, I see the card now. Let's see. No, it's not showing very well. Yeah, I can see there's some fire there.
The fire, that's probably reflection from the crystal.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I've got.
Interesting. What was the name of the card again?
The Page of Staves. So the wand card, the princess, or so it's the person about to be trained. Yeah, I think the fire you mean is the rainbow. I'm gonna I don't forget what some people will mean by the rainbow. Having crystals around, and those feng shui crystals and stuff are so much cheaper than they used to be, which means that I have.
Oh, really?
I used to have one. I used to have a couple, and that was. Things were like what, $30 a piece. Now you can get a pile of them for $30.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna Pollyann things up. I'm gonna have crystals all about, and when the sun's shining, the room's gonna be filled like a disco ball or something.
Pollyannis, yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
you can, and then you contact Unicron to see your room, and maybe you do some music video for her too. And
well, she's. I can admit this. I can admit this on camera because she posted. She said on one of her live streams that she. It's not one person. Apparently, she's bullied multiple people into sexual relations with her. That's called being a serial rapist. That's not
really.
That is called being a serial rapist. Thank you very much. And she beat and threw things at her husband till the dude fled the country for his life, basically. And she wants to talk about how other people have been mean to her and stuff like this. Yeah,
that is crazy. Carlton, he said that Elizabeth Clare Prophet, he wanted to create some kind of war with another nation or whatever. I don't know, but yet they preach this non-violence, and yet Elizabeth Clare Prophet, this New Age leader, she was for violence. That's very strange too. I mean, double messages, right?
Yeah. Well, it's you want the best of examples. One of the things I was
Yeah. Mhm.
and having a different day, even if you don't believe in any spiritual thing, having the day of meeting being the Lucifer day of the, because Lucifer is the Venus day. So having the Venus day being the day of
Mhm.
where you have your sermon, that's
Yeah.
something in itself right there too.
Mm.
But the one of the things I was pointing out is like the Christians and the
Mhm.
Jews, they've changed their scriptures to make their prophets look bad and make it like the rabbi
Yep.
are the best of examples. Now,
Oh yeah.
my idea, my idea,
Mhm.
I would think is
Yeah.
a spiritual spiritual community.
I think that you have to, evil, love backwards becomes evil. And I think that the Old Testament was about a fear relationship with God, and now suddenly Jesus comes and makes God goody goody. Like there's a hypocrisy already inherited in that thing. Like, is it love, or is it turn the other cheek, or eye for an eye? I mean,
Oh,
what's your thought?
and this is the thing that that here's the false ego card. You're literally chopping off the head. You're literally chopping off the head of
Interesting.
of the false egos, those false ideas of divinity that you have floating through your head.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like what I was saying is interesting,
Yeah.
that dream you were sharing, that
Yeah.
that in your dream, how it was relating
Yeah.
the
Well,
aspect of
mhm.
I'm trying to figure out find my cards at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It seemed that in your dream the freedom and the ability and that sort of thing was related
Yeah.
outside of something, and here in the middle was something else where that kind of didn't exist.
Mhm.
And I
Wow.
understand why it's like,
Yeah.
if one is supposed to have a spiritual relationship with anything, it's not that you've like sold
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
selling one's
Mhm.
soul or some things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Or to Jesus or whatever. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so many people who've gone into Satanism,
Yeah.
they're just doing the same thing with a different name.
Yeah. Wow.
And so
Mhm.
I thought we would close with the
Yeah. Okay.
just like last time, talking about,
Yeah.
this is going to
Mhm.
the cross quarter,
Mhm. Mhm.
let me bring up that
Yeah.
this cross quarter is
Mm.
Monday. It's Tuesday night is the cross quarter. The Christians
Okay.
invented a holiday to make last night and today the
Mhm.
holiday.
Mm.
And so many
Okay.
New Agers are saying Walpurgisnacht. It's like, well,
Yeah.
Walpurgisnacht was competition with Beltane and the other
Mhm.
old ways of celebrating the seasonal points.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
that was
Interesting.
sort of the thing there. But so this will be the last time for the ace to be the
Mhm.
swords and the
Yep.
princess to be the swords,
Mhm.
and it'll be
Mhm. Mm.
so those are two cards,
Mhm.
seasonal cards. The other seasonal card is, of course, the Fool, and
Mhm.
I guess we'll show these earlier. And then the month
Yeah.
card, the month
Mhm.
card, the court card is cardinal,
Mhm. Yeah.
cardinal Earth. So cardinal Earth
Yeah.
would be
Uh-huh.
Queen of Disc,
Oh,
and
that's a beautiful card. Wow.
the zodiac card, which would be the same as the emperor in this case,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the season. Oh, I forgot the other season. The day card.
Mhm.
The day
Mhm.
card in this case would be, because
Mhm.
it's Saturday, is the universe, sometimes called the world.
Mhm.
Calling it the universe
Interesting.
makes more sense.
Wow.
And then you got the pip
Okay.
card. The pip cards,
Mhm.
there's 36 pip cards, so you divide each month into 3, and so you got the
Mhm.
6 of disc
12.
in that way.
Yeah. Okay.
And let me see if I can
Yeah.
things any better when I do that. No.
Usually, the more effort you put into making it better on Zoom, the worse it gets. Like Zoom wants to have monopoly on having control over what you show.
Um,
On the
well, I have the. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe if I hold this
Yeah.
up and down, it's all in the shape. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah. Oh, there is he. It can be 6 times 6 times 6, 666 there. Yeah.
Well,
36.
as you know, I finally reached video 6,666. But I operate my video.
What? This one?
I operate my channel. I operate my channel like a temple. So if I have 6 videos a day, I have 6 videos a day, and
what you do?
there have been
You base
times
it on
where
this card.
I don't, but I've worked my way up to having 6 videos a day.
Wow, that is like for the whole, every day. You have
So
six
whether they're
videos
a few
every day?
minutes or a half hour or something like this, some of the videos I
What?
write. So when I listen and I watch and work on things, yeah, I've been.
Wow, that is like, wow, it's like set up just like a temple. 6666 temple. Wow. Uh-huh.
I'm thinking because of the restrictions on YouTube and stuff like that. It's like, having to throw in this phrase that,
Yeah.
and get a hate speech violation because I mentioned because I have my flags, and I said the flag literally has, it's a yin yang flag and has black and white on it.
Okay, yeah.
And the other flag looks like Arthurian thing. It has red and green on it.
Yeah.
So red, green, black and white. But what green's not a skin color. If green is a skin color, if green is a skin color,
they said green is. Oh yeah, for aliens it is. For reptilians it is. Yeah, don't discriminate against reptiles. Gargle won't like that. You do that.
Well, I don't. Yeah, leave that name on with Common English channel. But see, we have we have this success card. So in between all the, you are the rose, you are the so the Venus and the solar principle, that's you. But you've established it on a material platform. So this is what the card's showing, is that you're sprouting out from the material, but you're right there in the middle, and you're doing you're where you should be materially.
And awesome.
And the universe card, work is done, but there's more to do in the future. But there's a horizon that's beyond, beyond the whole thing. You got the Emperor card, so there is an order to things. There's a I have to wave my hand over it like some sort of
I see you're trying to remove the fog. Oh wow. But, wow, it really does react to your hand there.
But there's a process. There's this process going on with that. But it's the very male card. But you see on this tarot on the Thoth tarot deck, the colors change with some of the things. So you see that there's been a change going on from one side of the trumps to the other side of the trump. You got the Queen of Disc here. So she's overlooking the kingdom, which May where I'm at, May is the big planting season, because there's some stuff that that can't survive frost at all. There's some stuff that's stuff that doesn't do well until it's over 50 every single night. So it's really the overseeing time. So it really makes a good card for a May card. And
wow.
And the last of going into hiding, I guess that ram up on the rocks is not so much in hiding anymore. And so you got the full card. The full card is, he's in the system, he's out of the system, he's working things. But does he know these beasts that are?
I think I'm pretty well. That's Joker. I'm pretty well aware of the Joker archetype, actually.
The whole deck that we're talking about here about in general is the it's like every card is somehow the full, but every card is really us anyway. So
it is. Wow, interesting.
That's
Wow.
one of the ways we can do. Every card refers to God. Every card refers to us. Every card refers to the other things.
Wow.
And the Princess's Sword is kind of like the card shown before.
Mhm.
You know, she's of course starting the process. So she's it's the earth of whatever. The princess is the earth of whatever suit, and but sitting in the throne. So the highest we can think about our you know, our thoughts are reaching into the highest.
That's the queen, right? Like, have you seen the
No,
Hellraiser?
the princess is this card here, and the ace is
Is that our
that card
thoughts,
there.
or
What?
the princess? Is that like our thoughts, or?
The swords cards is primarily the intellect, yeah.
Okay. Wow, interesting.
So all these things are open to one's
interpretation.
Further thoughts. That's what we're doing. You know, start with a poem, and then talk about you know, your thoughts on the art and the cards, and if I have thoughts on the cards, it's you know.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm not giving a college class here, so I don't have to have so everything doesn't have to be worked out ahead of time.
Naturally, yeah.
But that's how in a tarot deck you develop the feeling, because you. But I got my.
That's what makes it fun.
I keep getting frustrated because the light is if we do this a couple hours earlier than it is right now, then we don't have the light shining directly on us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But that was my fault. But
is that the Crowley card?
Yeah, this is Crowley's deck.
Okay.
So something that's nice about the even though the deck is not reversible, you instantly know whether the card is right side up or reversed or something. But you have the entire deck represented on the back. So you got the minor and major arcana represented. You got the trunks or the flower. The petals of the flower in the middle. Those are each of the trump cards. And then you have the suits represented in a way. And you know, the white would be the trump cards, and you got the you know, you got the swords, and you got the wands, and you got the cups, and you got the disc or pentacles over here, and then you got the trumps represented here, and then it's branched out, and then you have the individual cards represented by the rest of the thing.
Okay, cool. Wow, shit.
But the ace represents the entire suit, and so does the princess, but in a different way. So the ace is sort of the top of things, looking at it that way. So having a you know, the transcendent, the crown is, I guess, transcendence.
Yeah.
It says will on the hilt. The princess there, who sits in the throne of the ace. She's drawn like the magician card. The magician card. She's drawing out her plan. It's like she's drawing out her plan from the future while the ideas and everything else is coming up and down in all sorts of directions. So she obviously has work to do to figure out what to do with things.
Okay, yeah.
But honestly, when it comes to you know, because the prince and the princess and the stave and stuff,
it's very transcendental.
These aren't cards about children. They're cards about young adults. So, but the fact is that people a little bit older than young adults are the people who make the most mistakes in life. So that's
what you mentioned before, that young adult, the external adult and the internal adult. No, what am I saying now? It's made for the adults or the youth?
No, I mean, okay. What was the line? 8 and 9. The external and young may not honor the internal and young. Okay, yeah. But you want both sides to your esoteric and your exoteric side should really work together and honor each other. Are you there? Did I lose you?